I do wish I would have started acting earlier. I'm glad that I graduated from UCLA. I'm very proud that I have a degree. I really am.
Yeah.
It's a part of my essence. But I wish that I had been auditioning because I could have paid for my tuition easily. Just based off of my batting average after college, I definitely would have booked some commercials, maybe even some theatrical while I was in college, and it would have paid. I wouldn't have been broke for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, who knows what could have happened?
Yeah,
you could have something crazy could have happened.
Yeah.
And you could have been jaded for.
Yeah, that's true. Or died. Theoretically,
probably could
been mauled by a bobcat.
Let's be honest, you would have died.
Yeah, let's go with that. No, I was getting into hang gliding. It would have worked out. I'm telling you, dude.
You never know.
Yeah, I totally would. Oh man, that would have been
Seems
my
like
passion, my dream.
When success comes at an earlier age out here, it usually doesn't end nearly as well.
True.
So are you working steadily then, it sounds like? You're getting commercials and that, you're getting residuals from
mid-20s? Mid-20s we're talking?
Yeah.
I don't know. Steady is a tough word. I don't know.
Well, you're not working odd jobs.
I never,
You never was a waiter? You never served drinks at IO West?
When I was 16, I washed dishes at a Chinese food restaurant for one night, and I have been chased by that monster for the last 25 years.
In Madison?
Yeah, in Madison. The
Authentic Chinese.
Yeah, the fear. Yeah, Mandarin Palace. This is super authentic.
By the lake.
Yeah, they make their own pancakes from Mushu. Anyway, super authentic. And then the other job that I had was at Comedy Sports Santa Barbara. We worked at a Mexican restaurant, and I was such a terrible waiter. They made us when you weren't performing, you had to wait. You had to be on the wait staff.
Yeah.
And I was such a terrible waiter that I would forget to write down who wanted what. I would just write it all. And I also didn't know Mexican food very well. So when their food came, I would come out and place it sort of in the middle of their table and say, does this look like anything that people want? Because I couldn't tell you who ordered it or what I was holding, because it all looked the same to me. It all looked like a burrito with different flourishes to it. But those are the only two like authentic real jobs.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
Thank you. I worked out. So what was the longest period you didn't work? Do you know? Did you have any like really dark periods where it's like a couple years and you were scraping, or was it all pretty much steady enough that you got by without ever having to worry?
No, you're always worrying. I don't know if their actors are like, no, everything will work itself out. I buy that 100%. No, I think that you're always worried.
Not to keep going back to Matt Jones, but he mentioned he booked a Chuck Lorre gig, series regular, and then that's when he stopped worrying.
Yeah.
You were on a Chuck Lorre for not a series regular, but a good amount of episodes.
Yeah, definitely. No, I remember
2.5 Men.
Matt Jones used to be so broke that he used to go to dinner with us and not order food, just knowing that there would be extra left over on people's plate. Not a joke. We still call it the Matt Jones of like if you're just going to eat people's French fries and stuff. Yeah. So, totally different ballgame.
So you've been worried from time to time.
No, I'm always worried.
Right.
Like I've never been like, I can just relax and kick my feet up.
That's
especially because, then eventually I got married and kids. So
right.
You're always worried about that. But yeah, never content or never feeling like, everything is going to work out. I mean, much different ballgame with Jonesy because he's a regular on a show and theoretically it's going to go with him 6 or 7 or 8 years and, it'll be millions of dollars. Whereas me, all these, I had some regular gigs and I booked some pilots, but never a regular job that went 13 or 26 or any of that. So
what was your longest drought? What was the darkest period in your career? Let's go dark. Let's go Mark Maron on this sumbitch. Where were you darkest?
Okay.
Because if I look at your IMDb, it's a pretty damn steady stream.
Thanks. I will tell you that I booked a pilot called Nathan's Choice when I was, I believe, 28 years old.
Okay.
And you asked for dark, so I'm going to go dark.
About this.
Yeah. So I booked a pilot, and it was for Chuck Lorre. And the idea was, this was pre-internet, that they were going to film 2 different second acts to the show. So you would see the first act, and then the audience would vote on whatever decision I had to make.
Oh, crazy.
And then they would air that second half, and then the next night on FX they would air the alternate version. It's a great idea. I have no idea why it still hasn't been done since then. Anyway, it got picked up.
Okay.
And
so not dark yet.
yeah, just as an example of how crazy we are as actors, when that we'll find a way to be bummed out about anything is that when they told me it got picked up, but it didn't get picked up as a single camera, that we were going to do a 3-camera live in front of an audience, I was bummed out because it wasn't authentic enough. Like I was like, oh, I really wanted to do the single camera because single camera really had just started. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I was like, oh man. So bummed out. So we were going to do 6 episodes. They turned in the first draft and immediately canceled the show.
Okay.
So it was dead. But I met with Chuck, and he's like, I got a great idea for a show. And the idea was that I was going to go live with my aunt, and she's sort of eccentric and crazy. And it was Anne Heche.
Okay.
And this was just after Anne Heche had gone crazy for a
7
year.
days.
Yeah.
6 nights.
Yeah. I think it was longer than that.
Right after that, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, we were all ready to go, and that was September 10th, 2001.
Oh, geez.
And then something happened to the economy and to sort of entertainment the next day that sort of imploded all of it. Wrong turn of phrase there. So then that all fell apart because of 9/11. Or that's the reason that was given to me. But I do joke that, in comparison, my losing a show, I don't think that the people at Ground Zero were, when they heard that my show got canceled, were like, oh my God, how does he deal with that tragedy?
Yeah.
So in comparison, it's pretty minor.
So it was like basically you had this series regular Chuck Lorre in front of you, and then it was taken away, and that basically devastated you.
So that was probably the lowest of just like, oh, I thought this was going to go, and I by the way, I even had the conversation where you're pulled aside at the pilot taping and saying like, your life's going to change.
Yeah.
So you better get ready. I don't know how you get ready, but I had that conversation.